Couldn't tell I'm having a bit of a lazy day today.
This is only the beginning of my true resurrection.
Arriving on the nightmare, praying for a dream.
True resurrection.
This week, on trying to escape my anxieties that the world is going to be against me and that all of society is going to reject me, I unknowingly picked a book where the main character had the whole world against her and was rejected by all of society.
You're going the wrong way!
Not only am I renovating this room, but I'm renovating myself, clearly.
The fuck is that? What the fuck is that? A fucking cat? It looks like grandma, the fucking thing!
I've seen better days. But this book, I'm kind of hesitant to do this review and just like save this book for recommended because it was really, really good. I would put this number 2 on my favorite books of the year list, just under The Knife of Never Letting Go. But only because that book made me cry for the first time since I was 12. This book is very hard-hitting. I swear, I've never related more to a character.
Well, why you boring me? I'm right!
She's a model citizen. She's perfect A student. She is so confident in her perfection that she's actually dating the son of one of the judges in this dystopian society that judges whether or not you are flawed as a human being and should be marked so and rejected and shunned by all of society while still living in society.
It's like deja vu, like I've been here before.
If I were to compare this book, I would compare it to Branded, except it's done better. Because in Branded, they were marked for breaking one of the 7 deadly sins, and they were marked with like a colored band on their neck. The difference is they were sent to like almost like a concentration camp thing. It kind of plays off the Scarlet Letter and the idea that if you do something wrong, you were considered a flawed human being. You were no longer perfect. You were no longer acceptable. And it is very relatable, especially in the day of social media. But I mean, it's kind of interesting to see how people are quick to turn on people as soon as they find out that they might have lied about something, they might have made a mistake in the past, a mistake 13 years ago, and their entire channel will be shut down, their entire social media will have to pay for it. In light of that, I would recommend this book. It follows the concept that marking somebody as not being perfect or judging them in your eyes as being a flawed individual, how quickly we are to debase these people, no longer be human beings, even less valuable than animals at this point. And even when you meet them in person, they will be bullied, they will be shunned, they will be rejected. It's kind of a scary world we live in, and I was actually surprised to learn that this author is the same author of P.S. I Love You. I've not read that book. I've watched the movie. So Celestine is the model citizen. Straight A's. She's dating the son of one of the main judges on court that determines whether these individuals are flawed. Now, if you are deemed flawed, you are branded. You have to wear a band around your arm. You are assigned a whistleblower who is somebody who literally watches your every move to see if you make a mistake. It's hell. It really is. And I was actually surprised at the lengths that this author went to abuse her main character.
Could I bake better than the awful Lady Honeytaint? It should be, I dare say, the icing on the cake.
Just listen to me. We don't have a lot of time. You're a character in a novella. Do whatever he says and don't try to fight it.
Wait, is that bad?
Listen, I've seen this before, and I'm sorry for what's about to happen.
No, what? What is about to happen?
In about 2 minutes, I'm either gonna make love, or kill you.
I thought I was bad.
I'm an insufferable and paltry bitch. Did you know that I've been farting this entire time? It's true.
This takes it to a whole other level. It was enough to make me feel uncomfortable.
After I have done the deed, so to speak, you may ravage my corpse as many times as you please. Oh, come on!
So obviously the main character is deemed flawed because she helped a flawed. The flawed individuals are rejects of society, no longer seen as people, they're no longer seen as human. If you are caught helping out a flawed in any way, somebody can tell on you and turn you into the authorities, and then you will be branded for helping a flawed person.
The gang's all here.
I would say that the only problem that I have with this book is the world building, because it's kind of like closer to suburbia, so it's easier to relate to and it's easier to understand. The only thing is, you know, there's a separate line apparently between criminals and the flawed. I thought they were one and the same, because if you are flawed, it's pretty much like don't lie, don't steal, don't do anything bad. Don't make a misjudgment or a misstep, because you will be considered a threat to society. You are no longer a reliable human being in society, and people should avoid you in case you contaminate the rest of society.
Got one for everyone, actually. Still a bunch of them for grabs.
We're kinda not talking to Chess.
What happened?
Chess is kissing ass, trying to scrape himself back. Of course, if he drops below 2.5, then it's bye-bye.
Family also gets the backlash for this. Family would be rejected just as much as the person who was branded. So she helps the flawed, she goes to jail, and while she's waiting for the trial, there's another man in the next cell over, and it's made clear that she's been given a boyfriend at the beginning. It's like, you know, he walks in and she's like, so it's kind of cheesy in that moment, but at the same time, like, I understand that if they're going through similar circumstances, they would want to kind of bond, and that doesn't happen right away. They're just in close quarters, and he's going to be going through the same thing that she's going through, so she pretty much grabs onto him as a lifeline. They don't even, like, really communicate, but they have, like, this shared bond eventually, gradually.
Do you trust me?
How much?
The judge comes in, her boyfriend's dad. He's basically trying to get her to reword how she helped the flawed man, pretty much telling her that
you weren't helping the flawed man, you were helping everybody else on that bus.
What?
Your intentions were completely pure and completely
Perfect.
I got you, fam!
And in her perfect mind, you know, she's still thinking like, well, one, that's lying, and two, I don't see what I did as being anything wrong. So, you know, after a few scare tactics and everything that were made to kind of make her feel like she had no choice in this matter, the trial takes place. Before the trial, her granddad has a word with her and her father has a word with her, and both kind of just lean towards the fact that, like, you did do the right thing. They didn't tell her outright, but they're kind of like,
You're sure to do impossible things if you follow your heart.
right before she's going up to the judges, you put all this pressure on. Now you tell her?
You're sure to do impossible things.
Anyway, she goes into the trial, and what does she do? Of course, she stands up for her actions. She stands up for the fact that she doesn't think that she did anything wrong, because even though the flawed are flawed, they are still human beings, and all she did was help an old man to his seat. Level of guilt that this main character has too. It, like, she takes everything on her shoulders as soon as she's branded. She takes full responsibility for everything because she feels like she's just being used as a scapegoat. She feels like everything's her fault. Everybody is making it feel like it's all her fault, and she's really conflicted and confused. It kind of reminded me how Katniss Everdeen felt in, like, Catching Fire, where she felt like she did do the right thing, but she's concerned about her family's well-being. She's concerned about the people around her, because she's not going to be the only one who's paying the price for her actions. Whereas in Branded, the main character didn't think about anybody but herself. All she did was throw a pity party throughout the entire book. She didn't really, like, she blamed herself, but it wasn't blaming herself like she was taking responsibility and she genuinely felt bad. Vocally taking the blame to pretty much get everybody to feel bad for her and tell her that it wasn't her fault and that she's fine, that she's perfect. Like I said, both stories are completely different. I just think that Flawed went a better way with it, especially given that social media and everything going on today. It's very, very relatable, especially when you feel like the whole world has turned against you because you put out a wrong tweet or you said something that people didn't like. I mean, I had experiences a couple of years ago when I was, like, standing up for somebody who I felt was taking this exact backlash on BookTube. He made, like, a generic comment about a girl's makeup. If you have checked out my BitChute account, I will link it below. You have probably seen the I'm With That Guy episode, the Let's Gossip episode, and the Is BookTube Sexist episode. And all three of those, I will admittedly say that I was kind of, like, trying to deflect the heat from these people and, like, just stand up for them. And it wasn't until, like, the Let's Gossip video that I started to get a taste of what it really does feel like when you get flooded with comments of just people just hating you and berating you and all of this shit. Even though you're mentally like, I know I did the right thing, it fucks with you because you get people calling you a hypocrite and you get people telling you that you didn't do the right thing, and even though you think you're standing up for somebody, you're really standing up for the enemy, and that makes you the enemy. It's really crazy how quick people will turn on each other. And, you know, I think we could all take a lesson from this book and just learn to like step back and better observe things and maybe try to take like a middle ground instead of jumping from one extreme to the other. We're human beings. One, we are going to make mistakes. And I don't think that saying something that might have hurt somebody's feelings is enough of an excuse to mob bomb somebody's video, to get their channel taken down, to debase them of any sort of feeling of character that they might have had as a person. It's emotional abuse. Later on, she is judged for that. She not only tells the council that she believes that she did the right thing. They did not like that, and they proceeded to brand her 5 times, but she later gets 6 because the judge just loses his. He uses her as scapegoat. He takes it out on her. Throughout the rest of the book, she gets kidnapped and abused and beaten by former friends. She loses her boyfriend. Still a little iffy on that area, but that subplot is kind of interesting. She's trying to run from the judge, but at the same time expose him. She just doesn't know how to do it without getting hurt more because she's already paying the consequences. Her mother lost her job. None of them are looked to in society as like good members of society anymore. They're assigned a whistleblower who is literally the worst human being encountered when it comes to literature. This character just...
Winds in the east, mist coming in. Like something is brewing, about to begin. Can't put me finger on what lies in store. But I feel what's to happen. All happened before.
So I'm not going to spoil the ending for you guys. I feel like I've already spoiled enough. It was a really good book though, and it really gave me another interesting view of like society and how we might take things a little too far sometimes. I will see you until my next video.